What's up, guys? It is Tudor here, doing my first Big Red Ramble at least, and I have a few other people here with me. I have Kev.
I want to shank something.
Don't you always, though? I also have Tim.
Hello!
Hello! And we have Alex.
I want to shank something twice.
Ooh, you dirty boy.
It's a sequel, see? He's getting into it already. That's professional.
I missed the trick there. I feel like I've missed out of the club by not saying I want to shank something now.
Well, you got plenty of chances.
I just said hello. I feel opportunity wasted. Oh! Menu.
We're off and running.
Yes.
This is an Xbox 360 build, I can tell.
What gave it away? It wasn't the dashboard or anything.
So,
okay.
I never played Shank, like the original.
Neither did I.
So, can someone explain what is going on?
I only played the demo of Shank, and I'm keen to find out about this game because I actually saw it displayed at an event thing and didn't get a chance to speak to the game developer who was there, and I was really annoyed about it because, I had to leave early and stuff. But anyway, please continue, tell us more about the game.
So Shank is basically a side-scrolling hack and slash and shooter. So it's got a bit of a story to it. It's quite cartoony. It's very violent as well. Lots of blood and gore. This game actually starts off with your character cutting off someone's arm on a bus, which we'll see in a minute, which is lovely. But the sequel actually has this new mode, which we're just showing the intro video to now, which is survival mode, which is pretty basic for most of your big budget retail games now. It's quite rare to see it in an arcade game like this, I think. So it is quite nice to look at.
Survival mode.
And how much is this? Is that the major advancement from the last game? I mean, obviously they've got a different single player game and stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's new weapons. They've beefed up the fighting, so it's a little from what I've read, it's a little slicker. So, and it definitely plays very well from what I've been doing on it so far. I've almost done the single player at least.
I'm on a boat, motherfucker! Don't you ever forget.
It has survival mode essentially replaced the co-op campaign they had in the first game.
Okay.
I didn't know they had co-op campaign in the first one. So in that case, I think so, because I haven't seen anything to say I can actually have a second player in campaign.
I like the idea of playing co-op.
Yeah, I don't know actually. I haven't looked into that, but I tried playing multiplayer because obviously it's got Xbox Live on this one and obviously all the rest. What the first problem I came into was there wasn't anyone to play with. So
that's always a problem when wanting to play online, having no one online to play with.
That's always been my problem regarding my sex life as well.
Tends to go hand in hand for gamers, and I did use the words hand in hand deliberately.
Well, maybe a lot of people are waiting to see how this game reviews, and then after maybe a week or so, more people will jump into it. So maybe you'll be able to find more people online.
Well, hopefully so, because I would like to try it with someone else, because I've only played a couple of matches, and they're both in this video, and I don't do too well.
Well, we can use this video as a matchmaking cry for help. Like, someone out there must own this game, or could go and buy this game and then play with you. See?
Yeah, just me though, no one else, because I want the achievements, because that's what I do.
In a very, very sexual and gratifying way.
I know Shank the first Shank. That was his name, right? Shank the first Shank.
Shank the first Shank.
If it wasn't, they've missed that opportunity.
I know Shank the first Shank got some negative opinion thrown at it in regards to the tightness of the controls. How does this one compare?
As far as I know, I haven't had any problems with controls, at least. There have been a couple of times where I'm pushing the wrong button, but that's just me being an idiot.
I remember playing the demo of the last one and becoming really hovering over the button to purchase it because I really quite enjoyed it. Basically, it did seem like a very stylish, polished game. No, even the first one, and this seems like it's polished it even further. No.
Well, the thing about Shank was that it looked really good. It was really fluid, and the animation was just really crisp. That's what was the big appeal for Shank. But a lot of people had problems with the difficulty and the controls and things like that. So hopefully they fixed it this time around.
Well, the difficulty, I'm glad you said that actually, because the difficulty does spike quite gradually.
You do seem to be getting kicked around quite a lot.
Oh yeah, of course, but this is partially me. Well, mostly me, I should say.
Mostly just because you're crap at the game, yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's the one.
Now you were standing down there below on the grinders. Should you ever stand on those? Because I imagine those are kind of like an environmental kill right there.
Yes, they are. I don't show it here, but you see the little switches around, the green glowing things on them. You can actually control them. The AI can't. But yeah, they do actually open the trapdoors, so you can kill the enemies quickly like that. But I never actually.
I would prefer this game a lot more if the AI could open it while you're standing there as well.
I actually think that would put a lot of people off in terms of difficulty, because obviously this is me playing by myself.
Yeah, you're complaining about it being difficult.
Bunch of sissies.
But yeah, no, the difficulty really does spike in the single player. You get some bosses that are rock hard, and then some that you can actually walk over them quite easily. That the strategy to them is quite obvious. So
the campaign it goes along the lines of scrolling across, like a la sort of Streets of Rage kind of thing, right? Rather than this survival-based arena thing.
Yeah, exactly. So
Streets of Rage, that's an old callback, but hey.
I couldn't think of a more recent example, despite the fact there are loads.
There are loads. Yeah, I probably couldn't think of anything. I'm thinking Limbo a little bit.
And I still think Streets of Rage is the best brawler of all time.
Well, Simpsons Arcade coming out on or is it out already?
Yeah, it's come out now, so
I might have to pick that up just
get your classic
for the nostalgia. I'm sure it's not as good as I remember it, but I remember it being awesome.
No, it's exactly as you remember it. You walk right and you punch,
and then you die, and then you have to put another 800 Microsoft points into it.
Oh, okay. They've put the added realism in. I'm basically seeing from the survival mode that you're just defending 3 positions, and when they all blow up, I'm guessing you die, or you fail that wave or whatever, yeah?
I don't know, because I keep dying before any of them get blown up, so I never got that far. But it does say in the tutorial video, if you've got someone with you, obviously they can revive you, so that is why having co-op would be handier.
That seems like the way to play, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
In fact, playing without it sounds like survival is going to be not a very long surviving.
Wait, who are you playing as now? Is this like Shank's Fem Shank, like the equivalent of Fem Shank?
You get a few characters to unlock this one, but there's one female that's in the story, but this is just one of the character skins, and she gets a few different weapons.
Can you really call her Fem Shank because she has that scythe?
Fem Shank Death.
Is her name something like Scythe?
It's something like Sunny or Samantha or something S.
It was going to be S related with a Scythe, definitely.
I can't remember what the other character's name is, but I'm sure it has an S.
So do you get different bonuses you're getting bonuses for juggling and stuff there as well?
Yeah.
And that just adds to your unlocks and stuff, basically, yeah?
Well, it adds to your cash in survival mode. So survival, and then you spend that on like health pickups and new weapons, or like turret emplacements, grenades. So that all goes to that. But in single player mode, all the points just go towards your points, which go to your score at the end. So they're not really used for anything. But it's just for leaderboards, which is always nice, at least.
And it's got all that integrated online leaderboards and everything for your score and everything on this thing as well, yeah?
Yeah, it's all in there.
This is the first game from the block party, is it not? Is it the block party?
Actually, I believe so. It's not the house party.
House party.
Who can keep up with which party is which in the Microsoft list of parties?
All I know is I don't get invited to any.
Microsoft have become the Van Wilder of publishers.
Just go around organising parties.
So the game publishing party liaison.
Well, they haven't published this game though, so I don't know how you can say that.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
What? Ignore
what are you talking about? Yeah, so I'm dead again.
You're dead.
Game promoters. That's where I was going.
What we need is people that are better at games to do these videos. I'm not saying me because I'm not.
We also don't want to jump into the arms of the biggest goon.
Yeah. That's I'm gonna stick on hard. I'm definitely not doing the hardest difficulty.
So what are we rolling into here?
Shanks.
This is the campaign. I already got a couple levels in before I started recording, so I've just gone back to start from the beginning.
What's pounce on the controls there? What does that do?
Pounce is pretty cool. It allows you to jump up, cover quite a bit of distance, and then you just, as soon as you can, it goes towards the nearest enemy, and then you just rip into them for a little bit, and that's it. But it's quite useful at times. Good for sneak attacks.
Ooh, I do love ripping into people.
I've got to say though, Shank as a character, it seems very uninspired.
Is he a bit shallow?
But isn't that part of the idea?
This character called Shank.
Yeah. Well, he's a drunk, and see, he's drinking.
What is it with drinking major protagonists these days? Never Dead had a drunk for a protagonist.
Those are your health pickups as well. You find bottles of booze, you go glog glog glog. Oh, I'm good now.
Oh, I saw that just now, actually, when you were playing. You drank tequila to heal yourself. Now,
Yeah,
in my
exactly.
experience, and I've had a fair amount of it, tequila does not do anything like heal you.
No, it does generally the opposite to me.
I would argue that it makes you feel worse.
It sort of turns me inside out more than anything else.
Yeah. Do you like tequila, anyone?
I haven't been able to drink it since university, and they were doing 50p shots one night, and I've never been able to drink tequila ever again since.
I think there's a synonymous story throughout society that everyone in their sort of mid to late 20s has, in which they all remember a specific event that involved tequila and they haven't drank it since.
Last shot of tequila I had Sambuca in it. No, not Sambuca. Tabasco even.
Oh, God.
Tabasco tequila.
The only tequila I've ever had, I didn't have a bad experience with it, but it just wasn't very good tequila, so it never made me want to drink it again.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Yes. You escaped something.
At least you didn't
that-
spend a decent amount of money on it.
No, it was free. I moved
There
off
we go.
somebody else.
I had a similar situation with Ouzo years ago at my friend's house party where I'd never done a flaming shot before, so I didn't know you were supposed to blow the flame out before you shot it. And I set fire to the Ouzo, necked it, suddenly realised my mouth was on fire. Literally,
nice.
not just it was hot, it was actually on fire. And I spat it across his kitchen, and then his whole kitchen was on fire. But because it's alcohol flame, it's completely clear flame. So
So you
we
couldn't
went
tell
into
where
a
the fire
drunken
was.
panic trying to put out his kitchen. That was the story. That's why I don't drink Ouzo anymore.
Perhaps you just stay away from fire altogether.
Yeah, fire and alcohol. Yeah.
Yeah.
A few of my friends still hadn't learned their lesson at New Year's this year as well. Flaming shots of Tambuca, but hey. But yeah, I think there's a game we were looking at a minute ago. Something.
Yeah, but there's tequila in it, so we got sidetracked.
Right. So we rambled on about that for a bit. Outskirts of town.
Hey, that's almost a big red barrel up there.
That is almost.
Well, it
it's
blew
not-
up, so I'm going to count it as a victory.
Yeah?
And then,
Oh, you died spectacularly there. Well done.
yeah, I killed myself, which is great.
Aim
Yeah.
to shoot at enemies.
Hey, how frequent are the checkpoints in this game?
They are actually quite freaking. I found they're pretty much after every big encounter with enemies. So after every mini boss, after every boss. Well, boss is at the end of the level anyway, so that doesn't really matter. But yeah, any big encounters will usually have a checkpoint just before or just after. Which
Nice.
is nice.
So that kind of helps with the difficulty.
Oh
a
yeah,
little
but
bit.
even so, the fights are ridiculous at times where you just there's not really much of a strategy and you're not doing much damage. So there's so many ways people can kill you, and only so many ways you can kill them.
So you've got throwing knives, and then you got those giant swords on your back.
Yeah. So the he's got his shank attack, which is
Shanks
his basic melee, which is the X button on
It's that
360.
basketball maneuver.
And then his murder move.
Well, the murder moves are mostly either through grapples or counter attacks, which quite a few of the counter attacks I've just gone for a second. Oh God, did you just do that? My favourite one has to be the baseball bat, where he puts it inside his mouth and then kicks it.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
I
beautiful.
think you just sold me on this game.
But so that's that, and then the other attacks, the machetes on his back, which get replaced by stuff like chainsaws later, are his power attacks, and then the throwing knives, which gets replaced by guns, are his long range attacks. So he's got a fair few amount of attacks, and there's one of the counters.
Nice.
You broke the cardinal rule of a brawler, and that's it. You jumped into a group of enemies. You let enemies on both sides of you.
Yeah, well, I don't like pussyfooting.
They seem to have quite a lot of ranged attacks
stuck
versus
in.
your lack of ranged attacks. Is that annoying?
What was that, sorry?
The enemies seem to be range attack, or they attack from range.
There's quite a few shooters in it. I mean, you start out with just pistols, and then
It seems to encourage you to want to get in close, though, to get in close to other people and do
Yeah.
other things.
yeah, because the only way you can really counter the shooters is if you sort of wait for them to start aiming at you, because you get a little red exclamation mark to say you can counter, like just there.
Okay, yeah, saw that there, yeah.
Yeah, so you need to get close to the shooters to be able to counter. So obviously you're encouraged to get close to them.
Pipe.
That car is
So you can steal enemies' weapons in this game and use them, correct?
Yeah. You can either just use them as they're using them. There's other ways you can use them. One of the ones you pick up is a big shovel, which you can basically use to pick up dirt and fling enemies.
That's the baseball bat one you're talking about.
But a lot of the weapons seem to be slower. You seem to use them slower than the shanks. So is there really?
Yeah, a lot of them are. But you've also got the bonus of the fact you can throw them. So when you've got something that's on fire, you can actually set enemies on fire just by throwing a flaming stick at them, rather than wasting one of your grenades or molotovs.
Oh, so not as good as Never Dead then, where you just literally set yourself on fire and run at things.
No, it's not quite that good.
So you just upgraded to chainsaws there, yeah?
Yeah, it's great. You untie this guy, goes, here, this might be helpful, throws me a chainsaw. Well, why didn't you try and cut yourself free with that? What I do love is just how some of the enemies react to actually getting hurt. It's beautiful.
Yeah, the animations of the enemies getting hurt and stuff is and the counters and stuff is very good. It's very smooth and very nice, man. It's well done.
That skull has a very patronising look on its face.
Yeah, no, very cocky looking skull.
Yeah, I actually died on one of the bosses and he was laughing, so the skull came up and I'm like, oh dude, that's just mean. The skull's laughing at me now.
So, is there a story behind Shank other than just he's an angry drunk guy? Dude?
Yeah, I don't.
Knives?
It's carrying on from. Oh, I'm guessing it's carrying on from the first one. He's got a few. He's got one female who's like sort of a sister figure. I don't know whether she is. She probably isn't. But then there's also like an old woman who seems to be a bit of a mother figure.
So is the whole Shank family basically in Shank 2?
Yeah.
Is what you're saying? Shank 2 family values or something?
Family reunion.
Better than Shank killing the first
that's
Shank.
basically the story. So yeah,
Some nice.
so you just join like a Mexican rebellion. I'm guessing Mexican, but I don't know.
Some sort of South American rebellion.
Yeah, you join a rebellion against the militia.
Mexican with tequila would make sense, I guess, no?
Well, yeah, that is kind of where I took it from.
Those enemies seemed remarkably unaware that there was a
You
grinder
only got
there.
2 grenades out of that entire pile.
Well, yeah, you can only carry 3, and I already had 1 on me. But you can also get Molotovs and proximity mines, which I thought weren't going to be that useful, but when you get fights where enemies constantly spawning in, it is actually really good to have a proximity mine placed.
They look painful. Frying pan.
This seems like one of the sort of few
Nice.
types of game that would benefit from proximity mines, actually. And I
Yeah.
don't like proximity mines in a lot of games. First-person shooters, I really get annoyed with them a lot.
Yeah. It's when you can't see them.
Yeah.
Like GoldenEye, classic GoldenEye, I hated the proximity mines on that in multiplayer. Couldn't stand them.
With a lot of things, like, the areas you play in are too big for proximity mines to be not dodged. But in this, obviously, you're on one plane, so...
Yeah.
This is just an ancient beef I have with proximity mines from when I used to play Time Splitters.
An age-old beef, eh?
As far as I know, the AI don't use anything like proximity mines. Most they do is grenades, really.
And flaming tyres.
And
flaming tyres.
flaming tyres.
The bosses all look like they've got fairly standard attack patterns. Is that one of the reasons why you said they kind of spike a bit, though? Because if you don't spot the pattern that you need to do to kind of defeat them, it can be very difficult, sort of thing, though.
Yeah, it's just that some of them seem to have more ways to control the battlefield and stop you getting close. So you end up relying on your ranged attacks and hit and runs, but you're just not doing much damage to them.
Yeah.
And
So
then
it
for
takes
every
ages
slip up
to
you
sort
get,
of- yeah.
every slip up you take, it just takes away so much of your health. They'll grab you and slam you around for a few minutes, and then let you go, and then you've got to recover quickly before they attack again. So it's just times like that really you struggle.
Oh, nice. And is that a little sort of quick time event, or did that just kick off because you did something well, or got to a certain point in his health?
Yeah, some of the bosses you get them down to a certain point, and then you can go for a grapple.
Okay.
As far as I know, you can fail them. So I think one point I had a boss there for a couple of seconds, and I was just beating the crap into him and taking down his health bar still, which I was surprised at. I would have thought it would have paused his health bar while you've got a chance to do the quick time event. But yeah, you just go grapple him, and then it takes a chunk away from their health bar, and you carry on.
Is anyone else really concerned about where he's hiding that chainsaw when he's not using it?
It worries me later when he's got stuff like a shotgun and a chainsaw on his back. That's not a good combo.
He has a very, very large back pocket.
Well, at least we know that once he's done with this whole shanking business, he's got a very good career prospect in smuggling.
Or magic tricks. Could come up with some interesting magic tricks.
I don't know if that's the kind of magician I'd book for a kid party.
Not for a kid party, perhaps. Maybe more adult entertainment. Hen nights. Shank 3, hen night entertainment.
Extravaganza.
Hen night in Vegas.
It's basically a Shank Duke Nukem crossover.
Actually, I think that would sell better than Duke Nukem Forever.
Except a lot less rapey.
Yes.
And again, for an XBLA game, it's got some effort put into the cutscenes and stuff like that. I mean, like, I like to see that.
It's not much of a story, but the effort they put into it is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it makes it look the whole thing look more of a polished product, basically. Yeah,
I mean,
this is the kind of game that I'd want it to look good and play like look really fluid, as opposed to having a really good story.
Yeah, that is definitely the third side to the triangle in this kind of thing, and the one you don't mind being reduced in, as long as the other two kind of carry it on.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I really loved about this is that I don't usually play arcade games a huge amount because I feel like I'm putting a lot of time into it. I'm not really enjoying it, and I'm not getting very far with it. But with this, I think I put in like an hour and got through 3 missions, but the time just flew because it was just that much fun to play.
Yeah.
I wonder if you took a sort of sample of answers from people who buy XBLA games regularly, how many of those people would answer that they buy games for story?
Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of games are actually out where it's just story.
XBLA isn't heavy on story stuff, but sometimes when it does hit, it hits hard.
No, it's more play focused.
And I wonder how many people appreciate it when you put a low budget game with a great deal of story. Because one of the best things about the indie scene today is some of the cheapest made games have incredible stories attached to them.
Yeah, but usually it's at the cost of either design or gameplay.
Well, I mean, it depends what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess I just feel bad that there's not enough story in games nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
Well, we've got plenty of RPGs at the moment, haven't we? They've all got great stories. And then there's Never Dead.
It's Matt's big... yeah, don't bring Never Dead into it. But it's Matt's biggest gripe with Amalur, for example, was that was a game just lacking in story.
Yeah, but see, as I've already argued in a piece on the site, that I think that suffered in being in comparison to other things that have been around at the moment. The main one being Skyrim. But I also think a lot of people are just going to skip over it because of that. But hey. But yeah, tell us why we shouldn't skip over Shank 2 then, Tudor, as we're coming to sort of an end of...
I'm hoping I'll kind of put that through. Is the fact that I can put an hour into it, feel like I know that I haven't really got very far, but I absolutely loved it. Every second, every fight.
And what's it like on the achievements? Has it been throwing them out reasonably generously, or are they quite tight?
I wouldn't say they're tight. It's just a lot of them are very cumulative. That's the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
So it's find 24 collectibles.
Yeah.
But then there's stuff like kill so many people with this weapon, kill so many people with this way.
Okay.
And I'm sure you have to beat it on the hardest difficulty setting to get one.
Well, yeah, there is one for the hardest difficulty, but then there's just one for completing it generally. Quite a lot of them are tied to survival as well. So.
And are you just telling people that this game is good so that someone else will buy it and you'll have someone to play multiplayer with? Is that what's going on here?
You're right on the first part. I'm telling people it's good because I want other people to buy it.
Okay.
It's not just because I want to get the achievements.
Seems like a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
When you get points like this where you can throw throwing darts and set off big exploding barrels.
Yeah, see, now, if he'd have made them red barrels, I'd have been...
They're slightly red, come on.
If he does a red barrel upgrade, then, yeah, we'll promote the hell out of this game.
Alright, well, I guess that's Shank 2 then.
Yeah, so it's available now. Go get it.
Bye.
Do it.
Bye.